Fallout 4 is an excellent game without a doubt. With hours and hours of gameplay and just so much fun that you're having just building and exploring, checking out the different cities and the different places that you can go and loot and the different people, the factions that you can go against or even join. Overall, just an excellent game. With it being free roam, one of the things that I love the most about it is being free roam, being able to explore and go where you want to go and travel where you want to travel. I like the aspect a little bit where if it's a city that you haven't gone to, that you have to go there by foot. They got some mods out there that'll alleviate that and help you travel there quicker. They got the fast travel mod where every place is instantly accessible. But I kind of like that. I like the sense of having that because it allows you to explore. It allows you to get in danger. If you're traveling at night and you run into some creatures or a group of people or different things like that. I like that aspect. It's not linear, very not linear. It has very few linear moments in it, but for the most part, you can do and complete and run the game pretty much whatever pace you want, whatever style you want, and I love that about it. It kind of just lets you be you, and that's what brings me back to that game over and over and over again. You can start and stop start and stop quests whenever you feel like it. You can start a quest and go there and check things out. You can even begin the dialogue with the contact there when you go and make contact with whatever person. But you don't have to necessarily complete it right then and there. You can have 4 or 5 quests active and open and ready to go, and just kind of bounce around and do what you want. You can kick back and just do some exploring if you want to, and just some looting, whatever you want to do. If you want to just go and kind of shoot around in some of the cities and level up, you can do that. The game doesn't grab you and stick you on one linear path, and I love that. Even with passing and failing some of the quests, I love that aspect. Like if you fail a quest, there's not a game over or a restart. You just failed, and that's it. All the opportunities that you had there, you just missed out on it. And I love that aspect. I hate the games where, I don't say I hate, but in this game, I would hate it if it was like a game over, retry, and you're doing a mission and the same explosion happened, the same dialogue. It's just, that would irritate me. I love the fact that they set it up this way where if you fail, you just fail and you move on. Another thing that I like is the weapon variety. Huge weapon variety, from handguns to shotguns to assault rifles, sniper rifles to laser rifles, institute pistols and miniguns, missile launchers, grenades to cocktails to post grenades, post mines, frag mines. It's so many different weapons, and each one of them have their own little set of upgrades. And they added the legendary mods where you can mod it and make it, give it legendary attributes and stuff like that. One of my favorite guns is super simple. Is an automatic pistol, the 10 millimeter, and I would add in the explosive rounds. Love that gun. Such a simple, small, basic gun, decent control. The recoil is a bit much sometimes, but overall the control of it is really nice. Love that gun. I love the fact that they had a vast amount of a variety of weapons to choose from to dispose of your enemies. You know what I mean? And that's one of the fun parts of the game, is being able to lock onto somebody in VATS, pick a certain body part, and have a variety of weapons to do so. Excellent. Another thing that I love about this game is the attribute variety itself. Of course, you start off with the special. You start off with the strength, perception, endurance, charisma, intelligence, agility, and luck. You start off with all of those things, and for the most part, there's not much anything special going on with that. At some point, at some level, every player that touches the game will be able to upgrade all of those to the max level. So there's no really real variations of that, unless a player just really doesn't like a certain attribute and doesn't care to upgrade it. But for the most part, you reach a certain level, you will be able to upgrade each of those. With adding all the different perks that they have to it, that's what gives you more of a unique style to your character. Honestly, games that have like certain archetypes, certain player types, certain attributes that make you into a player type, they tend to be limited, and the players tend to figure out which one is the best, the easiest, and they'll stick with that. Once they figure out, yeah, this is the best way to go. Like, don't waste your time with this, don't waste your time with that. They'll just kind of do away with the archetypes, and they'll just stick with the one that works the best, which makes sense. But if you can make each archetype really cool in its own right, it allows players to say, well, I want to try this, well, I want to try that, instead of, don't waste your time, do this. You know, it just kind of narrows everything, and it makes everything a little predictable. With all the different perks that you can obtain on here, it's a little harder to do that. It's a little easier to develop a special type of character that's more so based around your preference and your thought process, how you like to do things, your habits, your tendencies, and I love that about it. Excellent. The dialogue is really good. I love the fact that people talk, and they talk a lot. I like that in certain games, especially if what they're saying leads to something, is accounting for something, makes the story a little more interesting. If it's just useless banter, then I don't care for it. But most of the stories and the dialogue connects in some kind of way, or it leads you to some really cool things, leads you to a cool area, and just makes the game feel a lot more alive and full. I love the amount of information that is available in this game as well. When you go into buildings and you go into certain areas and terminals and you open up and they got notes, sometimes they'll have a lot, like 10 entries of notes, and each entry is like a page or two long, but each of them is a lot of information available, whether it's someone's personal story, whether it's entry logs, whether it's supply logs, whether it's like the intent of the owners of that building or establishment, whether they're showing their real intent for the employees and they're showing the employees something entirely different, and they got like a scheme up their sleeve sort of thing. It's so interesting just seeing the different stories, the different narratives, the different logs and entries and information that's available. If you're a streamer like I am, you may not want to go through each and every piece of information letter by letter while someone's watching it, but if you're alone, it's a good way to really get in and get involved and get immersed into the story. Those are my pros for the game. I have a few flaws, not many. The leveling. I feel like sometimes that as you level up, your enemies kind of level up with you, with the exception to a few. You do get some enemies that'll pop up and you're level 30 or 40, for example, and they're in level 1. You do get a few of those, but rare. Usually that happens when you skip over something and you come back to it later. But yeah, I feel like sometimes the enemies will level up as you level up, so you really don't get a chance to experience. You do, but at times you do miss out. But you don't really get a chance to experience organically becoming a little overpowered. It seems like the OP feeling that you get doesn't really come organic. It usually comes from mods, or it usually comes from, something that you didn't add it to the game. At least in my opinion, I could be wrong. But just the way I would notice, I would be 139, and then a Deathclaw would just so happen to be 139. Those are usually powerful anyway, so I could excuse those. But sometimes you get a Gunner, or a Raider, or one of the Forged. Those guys will just be like crazy bullet sponges, man. So that used to bother me, but it's not that bad. Loading screens, that is that bad. If I walk into a building and it is this small, and it takes nearly 3 or 4 minutes to load, that's a problem. The loading screens are a bit much, and I get it. There's a lot of information, there's a lot of things that this game is accounting for that it has to keep track of informational-wise, and it needs to load. If you shoot somebody in Lexington and you shoot their leg off, let's say their right leg, and then you leave for the rest of the game, and you go everywhere else. If you come back to that spot, that same person may very well be there. That same bullet wound may very well be there in the same way that you left it. The game holds on to that information, and I thought that was pretty cool. So I was willing to get past the loading screen because I knew what it was for. I know why it's there. It's not a shallow game with a bunch of loading screens. It's a very full, weighted game. The hairstyles, they could have done much better with the hairstyles. And with me being a African American man, I just wanted them to have some more hairstyles that I guess better fit me. You know what I mean? Not just me personally, but just a black guy in general. You know, with the hair types, they had some hairstyles, but the one that I mostly went with wasn't the afro. It was the dishonorable discharge. It was sort of like a natural looking mohawk, like a fro, but they cut it into a mohawk. I went with that because I was just like, that's the best looking one. The fro looks stupid, or the low cut. Sometimes I'll just go bald because I just don't even feel like being bothered with it. But yeah, that was a little bothersome for me. Customizing, your character, that's pretty cool. I love the fact that they let you kind of go a little more in depth with scars, blemishes, skin tone, smoothness, things like that. All that's cool. All that was fine. The hair color used to piss me off too. I feel like you would pick black and it's like a dark gray. And it looks black on a lighter skinned character, but on a black character it looked gray or silver, and I hated that. Always hated that. I wish the hair looked a little different. I think the hair can move if you have a longer hairstyle, but I wished like the facial hair was a bit more or less pasted on looking. Some of the facial hair looks a little weird. I know the bigger beard looks pretty cool, but some of the smaller ones don't look right. Small flaws, we can easily get past those. Another flaw was the voices. I felt like the voice actor did such an incredible job that they didn't waste their time trying to get multiple voice actors so that you could have different voice options to pick from. So that was a small flaw, but I easily got past that one. The voice actor was incredible. He did his thing. Looting. So, this game is a free roam post-apocalyptic game, which means that you need to salvage and gather as much material as you possibly can to make adequate things, to make weapons and material, clothing, certain chems and drugs for healing and things like that, to build things with generators and houses and all that. You should be able to scrap and gather everything in sight. Nothing should be off limits. Nothing. And that was an issue for me. You had a lot of buildings that you just could not go in. You had to have a workshop in order to be able to scrap certain things. Now, I know they got mods out there where you have portable workshops where you can scrap anywhere in the Commonwealth. And that's cool. But just mods aside, I didn't like that. That one was a huge flaw for me. I understood the weight limit and your carrying capacity. That's understandable all day long because you can't carry a building with you. And to be honest, the weight limit that they gave you was pretty generous. You know what I mean? You get like a 326 weight limit starting off, so it was generous. But I didn't like that one bit. That was a huge problem for me. They made up for it in some ways with the excellent gameplay and everything else, but that one really made me mad. The clothing options and the armor malfunctions. The clothing option isn't really a big deal for me because I'm not expecting him to have a fresh outfit on in this particular set. Just finding a clean t-shirt is pretty cool. That's not a big deal for me. What was a big deal for me is the layering options. If you put a certain item on, it takes your entire outfit off. GTA used to piss me off with this a whole lot. It still does. If you put like in GTA 5, if you have a suit on, you have a tuxedo or something like that on, if you place a watch on, your entire suit disappears and you're in sweatpants and flip-flops and a tank top. And I'm like, what the hell is that all about? That used to anger me, and it does in this game as well. Luckily, one of the cleaner and more put together outfits is the fatigues, the army fatigues, and the military fatigues sometimes. It's a slick, smooth, clean outfit. It's not real ratty or anything like that. Also, any armor you can put on. You can put on a chest piece. You can put on an arm piece. You can put on the your leg pieces and your helmet, and it doesn't affect your outfit at all. You can also wear rings if you got a certain ring or anything like that. And I love that it allows that for that outfit. I just wish it allowed it for other outfits as well. I love the backpack. I went to the store and I bought one of the military backpacks. Love the backpack. It just made it look so much more legit so far as the military style that I was going for. Love the backpack. I wish they would allow it. I think it allows for more carrying capacity as well. I just wish they would animate certain things a little more. I wish they would animate like the cooking a little bit more, where it actually shows you. It shows them cooking, but it's a generic animation for cooking. So no matter what you're fixing, he's chopping steaks. So you could be making a soup, but he's chopping steaks. Or you could be making corn, but he's chopping the steak, And that was a bit annoying. That wasn't bad, but I just wish they would add in more animations for the things that you're doing. Whether you're, I like how with the stim packs, you actually see him hitting himself with a stim pack and injecting himself with that to heal up. But I wish they'll show you going in your bag, grabbing some items, something like that. Maybe if you're putting clothes on, actually show them getting dressed a little bit. Just little small stuff like that makes a huge difference for me. Overall, enough of my banter. This is an excellent game. If I was to ever rate this game on a 1 to 10, it would definitely be a 9.5. Definitely a 9.5. This game was awesome. It still is. I'm probably going to go and play some of it when I get done with this video, just being honest. Excellent game, and I recommend it to anybody. Fallout 4, 9.5. You guys have a good one. If you guys want to catch up with our content and stay tuned with our content, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, hit that like, drop us with a comment. Let me know how the video go, if you liked it, if you didn't like it, what you like to see more of. Hit us up, talk to us. We're looking for that feedback. Follow us on Twitch, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Facebook, follow us on IG. I'll drop all the socials in the description below, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.